Welcome everybody to Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers, the first Gabriel Knight game. Little bit of a warning. Kind of. In the second game, Gabriel Knight goes to Europe and fights werewolves and is cool as hell and joins like a gay hunting lodge for werewolves. In the first game, he's kind of like a sexist dickhead for some reason. And the story is about him, like, overcoming his childish, I don't know, immaturity. For some reason, this was seen as incredibly sexy when this game released. But I think his attitude may not have aged super well. So, heads up. But anyway, let's get into some Gabriel Knight. Let's watch the intro, too. Actually, I think the play will... Let's find out, I guess. Let's play the intro also. We're playing the Windows version instead of the DOS version, because the Windows has CD quality audio. Dialogue. Oh yeah, Gabriel Knight's also voiced by Tim Curry in this version. Surprisingly. How's it going, Zordon? Welcome, welcome.
I bet. Just a minute.
Oh yeah, we sexy, you know it.
It lives, I see.
When I think sexy, I think twitch.tv/voice.
Lolita? I'm sorry, but Gabriel is allowed. Oh, I mean, he's out. Yeah, if he ever comes back, I'll tell him. You know, you could do better. I know I don't know you, but you could do better. Good morning. The phone's been ringing off the hook all morning. Let me know when you want your messages.
Yeah. Carry son. We got trouble on the internet.
Lively?
True.
Did you have another nightmare last night?
Sort of.
That's Tim Curry.
I
know
you,
him.
It's that voodoo book you're researching. That stuff can seriously screw up your karma.
I'm sure that's it. Maybe I should write a horror novel on passive resistance instead.
How's it going, Happy
So
Chappy?
sleep. It's your body. Anyway, your handheld tape recorder came today.
It sounds like Tim
Really?
Curry trying to do a New Orleans accent.
I can't wait to see what human rights you violate with this one.
I can't wait to violate them. For example, if you would just let me...
And I located some local voodoo references for you.
Anyway,
Dixie
that's what I was
Land Art
talking
Store
about.
And the Historical Museum of Voodoo. Both are right here in French Quarter.
How would I ever manage without you?
You? Give me a break.
don't-
The
I
devil
don't know.
himself can change you.
Well, if the devil had great legs, perhaps.
Oh my god.
Like yours.
And a riveting personality, I'm sure. Well, if you need any more research done, just ask. It's not as though we're swamped with customers.
Yeah, so this is the biggest problem with this game when I was looking up. Yeah, Gabriel's kind of a sexist pig in this one. At least to begin with, I'm sure. Apparently that gets better as it goes along. But especially to Grace Nakamura. Assistant slash friend? Slash love interest? Anyway, we have a bunch of options here on our menu. We have points. That's right. It's basically... Actually, I think Gabriel Knight is Sierra. A while. Let me pull up the box again. Because I think Roberta Williams got another writer. Yeah, this is Sierra. So. This is like your classic Sierra style game. Although I think Phantasmagoria is probably a much better version of the style game. But there are some folks that are like diehard Gabriel Knight fans. They love the Gabriel Knight games. And apparently these were huge sellers for women specifically who wanted a sexy, long-haired guy, I guess? A gambit. They wanted a gambit. If I want to really get into it. Anyway, we have all of our actions. We walk, look, grab, open, or take, I guess. We have describe, I think. This is talk. Settings and push.
If wishes were pony.
Gabriel,
Okay, this is...
the coffee has already been made.
Anyway. Who doesn't want a gambit? I mean, who doesn't want it? Right?
Gabriel is carrying nothing.
Okay, there's our inventory. We have a cool snake and a cool lion. I appreciate. This is also carryover in the second game, is the tapes. We can record conversations, edit them, I believe. That'll be part of puzzle solving later on. Settings, store and save, graphic settings, etc., etc., etc. You know what? I do want text on.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
This is the conversation system, which I think is really cool. Also, the story revolves around voodoo, so expect a little bit of maybe not super sensitive cultural stuff. A heads up.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I didn't know much of anything about it until you started researching it for your book.
A little bit worse than
Now
I'd
I
say,
know
like,
it's active in
Monkey
the
Island
secret
handled it.
shop and museum. It can clearly be dangerous in the wrong hands. You should be careful investigating it.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Just what I read in the paper, same as you.
Now that said, I haven't actually played this game, so this is all new to me.
What can you tell me about
But I am familiar with the Gabriel Knight series,
Well, I've only been here 2 months.
having
but I
played
love
The
it.
Beast Within last year.
It's so much more alive than any place I've been. It
Which is
feels
the
like
second game.
anything's possible here.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
Yeah, right, Knight.
I mean it.
What do you want to know?
And she's so mad about that. How come we haven't gone out yet? Oh my...
How do you like working at St. George's Books?
Well, it's not exactly a huge intellectual challenge. Although the math in your record books could confuse Einstein. Still, I love old books, and it's a nice way to pay the bills while I explore the city for a summer. If you ever pay me, that is.
What do you do after work?
Well, I either go to my oil painting class or my Tai Chi. You know that.
You know, you can go overboard with this improving yourself stuff.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to alienate us mere mortals.
I suppose I should just allow my mind and body
This
to
almost
atrophy.
feels like Tim Curry
Works for
ASMR,
me.
the way this is, narrated. Like a little too close to the mic, almost.
How come we haven't gone out yet?
I'm still waiting around for that lobotomy. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know.
How old are you?
Old enough to know about men like you.
Just tell me anything at all.
I just got my master's in history and classics. My folks wanted me to go on right away for my PhD, but 18 years of school was enough. I needed a break.
Sure.
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
Suit yourself.
Messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Dana called, and Susie left a message about a lawsuit.
Awesome.
Anybody else getting a
Okey-dokey.
crackle?
There's more when you want them.
The audio itself has some crackling.
You have more messages
It's,
for me?
you know, 1993
Grandma.
audio files, so...
I keep meaning to get over there. What did she say? Did she sound good?
She sounded great, and we had a nice little chat about you.
Great.
I'm
Don't worry.
assuming
I didn't go into detail
that
about
they
your
were
cardinal
compressed to
sins.
hell to fit
Not
on
that
the disc.
anything about you could surprise her. She adores you anyway.
She's my girl.
But she said to remind you to stop by and go through your father's things.
This type of audio,
Okay.
without full motion video, in 93, I think is really, really high effort, high class. It's not something you would really see in a lot of point and clicks at the time, alone long story-based PC games.
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
Nothing.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Like Phantasmagoria 1 was 2 years later. That had some pretty crunchy FMVs, but slightly better audio. Not by much 2 years later still.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say?
Yeah, there's a crackle
I
on like every
refuse to be
audio.
bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost
For the
speak
record,
otherwise.
I could play the DOS version. The DOS version has no audio files for dialogue. It's all text, so it's like the original like Monkey Island style. But the Windows version does, so that's why we're playing this one. Freaking coffee.
Good coffee.
Paper.
Times Picayune, dated June 18, 1993.
1900.
The front page has an article about the voodoo murders. The article says that the victims are all identified as members of the underworld. The general public of New Orleans is in no danger. Police claim the so-called voodoo trappings found at the crime scenes are fake, a scare tactic, and that the murders are not associated with any genuine practitioner.
For the record, other 93
Gabriel also
point-and-click
scans
games.
the Aquarius horoscope
Sam and
for
Max
the
hit the
day.
road. The Seventh
Potential
Guest.
storms ahead.
Space Quest 5.
Proceed with
Day of the
caution.
Tentacle.
And
Mist.
do not get involved with anything new at this time.
And some amount of other ones. Like Return to Zork. Or Star Trek Judgment Right. A Star Trek point-and-click. This is the same year as Mist. Give some context.
Gabriel cannot see any way to pick that up.
That magnifying glass? Okay. Sure can.
Mind if I borrow the magnifying glass?
No, Sherlock. Just bring it back when we get the next estate shipment.
No problem.
Something else on the table.
I'm gonna take the tweezers for a bit.
Good. You're beginning to look a little scruffy.
Just trying to make you feel at home.
I don't know if I
Gabriel
can...
cannot take that.
Okay,
Gabriel,
I can't take the cup.
Gabriel doesn't need the ashtray.
Ashtray.
The front door leads to Bourbon Street.
What a wacky off...
3 snakes in a skull.
Yo, I have a
Gabriel's
Pog
father
Slammer like
painted
that.
it.
What a wacky offbeat kind of guy Daddy was.
God damn. You throw this on a stack of Pogs? You know how much Pogs you're winning? Woo. So many. I got 5 points. Save that over start again. Picked up a couple of nights. Let's get out of here, I guess. Oh, hold on. I might need something in this coat. Thinking like that does look slightly different than the background. Never mind.
See
takes
you
a look.
later.
See ya.
We're good. Oh man. We're at the bookshop. There's Dixieland Drugstore, the Historical Voodoo Museum, St. Louis Cathedral, Jackson Square Overlook, and Napoleon House. Let's go to the... Oh, and Jackson Square, I guess. Instead of just... Go to the cathedral, I suppose? Yo, look at that FMV. It's gotta be like 120 by 80 or something. That looks great. Nobody's here right now. Well, apparently I can go left and right. Very, very slowly. Give him a minute. Okay. About the park.
The other park visitors are enjoying their leisure and aren't interested in talking to Gabriel.
Nobody wants to talk to Gabriel. Hate to see it.
A blues band entertains on the lawn. Now that's music.
Push
The
him.
band obviously likes this spot and wouldn't care to be moved. The band is too into their music to talk to Gabriel.
There appears to be no run double click. Thanks.
The band doesn't work that way.
I think that's use item. At least they put exits on multiple sides of this. Oh, hold on. Just multiple screens.
A lone drummer beats out a haunting rhythm on a large African drum. The drummer is busy.
Doesn't want to talk, eh? See how it is.
Why, you nasty thing, you. I'll call the police, I will.
A mime? How dare you?
It's one of those mimes. Oh boy.
Oh boy, a mime. I'm gonna push him.
He seems to have a mind of his own. Interrogating a mime would be an exercise.
It's
in
one of those
frustration.
mimes I've heard so much about.
Since Gabriel can't read lips, he's disinclined to start a conversation.
Look at this little shit.
You white-faced geek! You want to eat my fist?
Everybody hates the mime.
The Cajun band is a little busy for that right now.
Fools. The mime that just harasses people in the park. That's gaming.
That jazz band is pretty good. Of course, most jazz bands in New Orleans are.
Alright, so I'm curious if there's actually, like... There must be a puzzle with all these bands and this stupid mime. Somewhere. Let's get out of this park, though. I don't think there's anything in here for us. Other than sick jams, of course. Exit? Maybe I need to go to the Voodoo Museum. In that small of a space, the bands would just be playing over
Hi.
each other. Look,
Look around all you want.
Okay,
sometimes you gotta busk. I get it. I do.
A street drummer has settled outside the museum.
I love the art in this game. This is great art.
He's got more hair than Mosley. Reminds me of a book critic for the New York Times.
She looks thrilled to be here. A very large, very formidable looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage. A wooden doll with horns is on the back table.
But
Looks like Jack Nicholson.
ah, I take the skull.
Even if that were...
I just want to steal stuff from the
Even
museum.
if that...
But I'm basically British. They should just let me.
Could I ask you a few questions?
I wouldn't be much help. You should talk to Dr. John, the owner. He'll be back tomorrow.
I see. Thank you.
Huh.
A striking portrait of a turbaned woman is on the back wall. Gabriel wonders who she might be.
Looks like a Monkey Island, like voodoo house.
Dang. I've always wanted a skeleton with a bowl on its head.
Alright, let's get out of here. Huh.
Gone now, thanks.
So long.
Not really getting anywhere yet. Guess I haven't gone to the drugstore. Let's try that.
Hi. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want, I'll answer what I want.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Sure, this is a gift shop.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Cabri's Saint-Croix.
What did you say?
Nothing, nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
Will it be like Monkey Island and you'll have to make voodoo root beer to take care of a ghost? One can hope.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
One can hope.
I've lived here all my life, me.
What did you mean when you said Cabri Saint-Croix?
I didn't say that.
What are you talking about?
Did. I
Uh-uh.
heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
Sure.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get into this kind of business?
Why should I discuss my business with you, man?
The hell you talk? Get the hell out of my store. True.
Hi there. Is this your store?
Oh
This is
man, you see
Dixieland
this?
Drugstore, and I own it, me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
Look at this really cool alligator in a robe.
It's a mannequin wearing a crocodile mask.
Got crocodile hands too.
The Dixieland Drugstore. In this case are super concentrated fixing oils.
Okay, so I suspect I might have forgotten something in the bookstore. I might not have gone through all dialogue options or something. Let's go back, I guess.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Oh, this is new.
Hey kids.
Bruno, how nice.
Gee, a customer.
Of yours? Hardly.
How's the flower business?
Well, better than the used book business, I see.
Rare books.
That explains why I so rarely see anyone in here. Are you going to sell me that wonderful painting of yours
The
today?
cool one with the skull and snakes? Cool.
Gee, is today the day that hell freezes over?
One needn't be rude.
Get the hell out of my store. Alright, anyway. You.
Did I ever tell you that you're ever have one of the...
This is the one. I think. Okay. Messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Here's a strange one. You got a call from someone named Wolfgang Ritter? He said he was calling from Germany. He told me it was urgent, maybe you should give him a call.
Call Germany, like hell. If it's really important, he'll call back.
I'm not paying
fine.
those fees.
Let's just hope he's not with the German lottery for pitiful American authors.
Do you have more messages for me?
Your friend Detective Mosley called. Talkative, isn't he?
Especially with you. What do you want?
He left an interesting message. He told me to tell you that his mother's maiden name is Humphrey. Oh, that's H-U-M-P-H-R-E-Y.
Fascinating.
And that he left some photos for you at the station. At the front desk.
It's about time.
Gabriel, those photos wouldn't have anything to do with the voodoo murders, would they?
Now, why would you say something like that?
Because I know you. You're getting privileged information, aren't you? Did you tell him you'd put him in your new voodoo book?
A writer has certain obligation to his readers, you know.
Gabriel, you know you'll never put him in your book. Your main character is a female orthodontist. You're gonna be reincarnated as a pit bull if you keep screwing with your karma.
As long as it's a male pit bull with really big...
That's
Balls?
enough.
You talking about your
Thanks.
testicles, Gabriel?
Anyway, that's all the messages.
Why?
Thank God.
The fuck? There were apparently more messages.
Do you know what caprice encore means?
No. Sounds French, though.
If it's New Orleans, it's probably... Am I stupid? Isn't there like a special kind of French that is only in New Orleans? Alright, there's a couple other things I want to look at, though. Oh, Creole! Yeah, Gambit! It's Gambit! And that's what I said.
St. George books could use some St. George. The books on the desk. The top shelf contains... The top shelf...
Okay, there's actual other books up here on various parts of this shelf, apparently. One second.
Gabriel pulls down a book on snakes.
Snakes are legless reptiles. Some snakes kill their prey with poison, some by constriction. A snake smells by tasting the air with its forked tongue. The smells are passed back to a sense organ in the mouth.
Snakes.
Constrictor snakes, however, sense their prey by vibration.
Did you know that medieval legends about dragons and giant worms are actually based on snakes? You know, dragons, devils, sea monsters, well, they've always been associated with snakes.
Grace, get alive.
That was apparently required. What about this side?
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei Drachen kriechen in meinen Schlaf. Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Zunge, genießen sie jedes Mal.
That's nice. Kinda creepy, though. Who's the author?
Heinz Ritter. I'm not sure what it says, but I get the feeling the guy was one sick puppy.
What else is on these shelves?
The chandelier is all right. That shelf contains historic...
Biography.
The history books on... The history... Gabriel's had all those books...
Leave my coat alone.
What about over here?
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Oh, that sounds useful.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
Anything else?
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Oh, this is some Sierra bullshit, isn't it?
Means game. Interesting.
Ah, Spiel.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Himmel means heaven. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Dry means 3.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Possession means possessed. That's handy to know.
I'm learning so much German.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Drachen means dragons. I wonder if Mosley would know he was being insulted if I called him Drachenbread.
Gabriel leafs through a German-English dictionary.
Let's see, Mittag means midday, noon.
Okay, flipping now. Alright, we learned German. No. There was a German book up here? I think mentioned some of those. Like in the poetry.
Gabriel selects a volume of German poetry that he always found strangely compelling.
Drei Drachen. Drei
So that was
Drachen
3
liegen in meinen Schlaf.
dragons?
Die Ziele wollen sie lebendig zum Fraß. Feurigen Atems, gespaltener Summe.
Oh no, we're gonna have to translate
genießen sie
German, aren't we?
jedes Abend.
But in a video game way. Okay. Couple other things I noticed in this screen that I didn't look at.
Gargoyle, eh?
That cool gargoyle.
The gargoyle is heavier.
I can't fit the gargoyle in my pants, fortunately.
Life is too short to talk to ugly statues.
What?
Life is too short.
You'd never know it by the woman you date.
Ooh. There is this I wouldn't say tension in a sexual way, but there sure is a tension between mostly hate, I would say.
The desk is... It's certainly light.
Okay, I can open.
Gabriel opens the cash register to examine the take. Or, in the case of St. George books, the mistake. The cash register contains about $20 in small bills.
I could probably use that to buy something from the gift
It's
store.
a gift certificate left over from yet another dismal failure of a promotion.
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
I guess that was the only thing in there. Hold on, can I take the money?
Gabriel checks.
I need $20, right?
Gabriel, that's all the change money I have. Touch it, and you can kiss your hand goodbye.
Would I do that to you?
Okay. There's no phone on this. There is a briefcase.
That doesn't seem to... Grace keeps her
Art supplies.
here.
Assuming I cannot take Grace's art supplies.
Gabriel wouldn't dare touch Grace's oil paints.
Let's get out of here then. I made some points. Points. Oh, hear about these
I'm outta
points
here.
things?
Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
See ya.
Oh my god. Okay, we were talking about Gambit and Creole. Oh, we got the police station. So what's this? Oh, this is more. Let's go to Grandma's house. I think that was one of the first messages Grandma called. That's reminding me about one of the X-Men holiday specials where Gambit is trying to save Jean Grey's awful unseasoned cooking.
Glad you stopped by.
And he keeps trying to like sneak in spices.
Sorry it's been a while, Grandma.
So it's not just bland, awful
Not
food.
at all. Give us a kiss. Now come and sit down. Tell me how you're doing.
I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. I'll post it in the Discord. Maybe, hold on. Price. Okay, I found it. I'll post it in the Discord. That is a very funny scene. Okay.
How you been, Gran?
Just fine, dear. I'm sorry I bothered you at work, but I was hoping you'd get a chance to go through your father's things in the attic.
Oh.
Don't be silly. You can call me anytime. Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy. How can I help?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? What an odd question, Gabriel. Of course, you always were interested in monster movies and all that other weird stuff. You get that from your father and granddad.
He loved monster movies and Godzilla.
Of course, it was very big in New Orleans.
Mothra.
But you don't hear about it so much these days. Too much else in the world to worry about, I guess.
You definitely gotta sneak in some cumin. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any idea what caprice encore means?
Something without something, I think. My French is so rusty. I swear my mind is going.
It's okay, thanks. Tell me about yourself.
Me? Oh, surely you have something more interesting to talk about.
Oh, come on, Gran.
All right, dear. What do you want to hear?
Huh.
Tell me about the fall you
A
went
lot
through.
of dialogue options.
Well, you know I was born Rebecca Wright. My daddy owned a lot of land outside of town. Peas, corn, cotton, all kinds of things. It was a good childhood, but my father was very strict. He didn't much let me out of his sight.
Alright,
Oh, no.
this is probably not relevant. What about this?
Tell me about our family.
Who would you like to hear about? Your granddad, your father, or your mother?
Yes?
Your granddad immigrated to America when he was 21. He worked his way through school, met and married me, and we had your father, Philip.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad supported me. in
Oh,
my
they're doing
father's
this thing too where you have to ask multiple times.
What though? He hated every minute of it. Didn't really like bookkeeping one bit. Maybe that was why he had the worst luck with jobs. The nights he'd come home afraid to tell me he'd lost another. And I would tell him it didn't matter to me. But he felt ashamed, Gabriel.
Tell me something about Granddad.
I wonder...
Harrison was only 36 when he died. Your father was 8 years old at the time. Your granddad was hit by a streetcar in the business district. Took me nearly a year to believe he was really gone.
I'm sorry, Gran.
If I compress the audio further, I wonder if I can get rid of those clicks. Try that.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Nope.
Did you know that your granddad was a poet? He was!
Worth a try.
He wrote the most beautiful poetry for me when we were courting. I always thought he should have done something with that gift. But he was such a practical man. Didn't believe in chasing after dreams.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Tell me something
Don't
about
know what else
Granddad.
to tell you, dear.
Tell me something about Granddad.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Tell me something about Granddad.
Your granddad immigrated to America.
Okay, now you're just looping. Come on.
Tell me about my father.
Something else.
Your father was my only child. How we adored him. Philip suffered from terrible nightmares, just like your granddad did. They were 2 peas in a pod.
Tell me about my father.
When Philip met your mother, it was love at first sight. They were married 2 weeks later. Never looked at a girl seriously until then. And he looked at plenty. You have your father's way with women, Gabriel. And your granddad's.
So they were both dicks, and they were both assholes to women? I don't... How's it going, Borzoi?
Tell me about my father.
I wanted to just lay down and die when he and your mother were killed in that car crash.
Yeah, there was an LP of this on LP Archive.
It was the
On the old
thought
SA
that
forums.
you kept me
I think it was a
Police say your father
screenshot
swerved
LP, so
off
yeah,
the
you probably
road
would have
after
read
being
through it.
frightened by something.
That makes sense.
Perhaps a deer in the road or wild cat.
I have a screenshot LP on the LP Archive for a game that is currently on poll in the Discord. Be voted on, which is Beavis and Butthead in Virtual Stupidity. Although currently Daria's Inferno is winning the poll. A much more interesting and probably bad game. But I do a poll in the Discord every so often, like every 2 games or so, to let viewers pick what I play next.
Tell me about my father.
Your granddad wanted Philip.
But if you want to read through another LP,
He was obsessed
and
by
you're
that
interested
car.
in specifically
He
Mike
pushed
Judge's
Philip to go to law
MTV's
school.
Beavis and Butthead.
Philip was driven to art.
That was one of the
He
first
painted
and
almost
only
in a
things I
daze.
posted on SA before I left the
So
forums.
inside himself when he worked.
Tell me about my father.
He always hated it that it was Margaret's money that supported the 3 of you when his painting couldn't. I kept telling him, try something more cheerful, like a landscape or
Stop
two.
painting skulls with snakes in them.
Couldn't do it.
Pogs won't be popular for another,
Just
like,
too dark
5
and
years.
stressful for the public, you
Come
know.
on.
Tell me about my father.
I don't know what else to tell you, dear.
Tell me about
What
my
about
mother.
Mom?
Your mother was Margaret Templeton when your father met her. She came from a very wealthy Creole family in New Orleans. She was beautiful and reckless. She was madly in love with your father, of course, but I also think she liked defying her family. Since you're so interested in family history these days, why don't you go by St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 and visit the family tomb? It would be a sweet gesture.
There's
Maybe
like
I
4
will.
games you wish for me to play that lost those polls? Dang. Well, the good news is, every game that is on the poll is the game I own physically and able to play at any time. I usually rotate back through them later in the year and add them to a poll again. So if you missed it
You
this
know,
time, it
you
might
get
come up
prettier
again.
every time I see you.
Oh, you.
What's up? Talking to Graham. Go
I'm
upstairs.
going to go up to the attic, Gran.
Be careful of the dust.
Probably also save. It's been like a while. I got points for that conversation. Graham. Alright, what do we got in here?
An elaborate mechanical clock, probably of German origin, is among... It doesn't seem to be running at the moment. That box of Nick...
Alright, let's look in the box first.
There's nothing I want in there.
Surely the golf club.
I think I'll leave that up here. I think I'll leave that up here. No. I think I'll leave that up here.
Gabriel doesn't want it.
Maybe I can interact with the clock.
A ring of 6 symbols surround the face of the
Hey, how's it
clock.
going, Sydney?
A sword,
Coach?
a
Coach
sun,
makes more sense.
an angel,
Why didn't that
a
play?
noose,
Hold on.
an eclipse, and a dragon.
That's me, Gabriel Knight.
Oh, because that's the other one. That's not the sound effect. Well, you're welcome. I played the sound effect too. That's me, Gabriel Knight. There were symbols on here and I wasn't paying.
A ring of 6 symbols surround the face
And a
of the
dragon.
clock.
So,
That's me, Gabriel Knight.
Sword, Sun.
The ring of symbols. The hands do not appear to have any mechanical function. Gabriel can
Is this the dragon? Oh my god, this puzzle's pretty bad. Three of Dragons. This the dragon? Because there was something in that book, that poem that said Dry Draken. Free Dragon. But it was like a random book on the bookshelf.
a ring of 6 symbols.
Eclipse. So this is the
surround
dragon.
The face of the clock. Why move that? Gabriel,
Maybe I need to turn it.
nothing happens.
So
Gabriel,
this might mean that the hour needs to be on the dragon and this needs to be on the 3. 10:15.
nothing.
There might be some other way to interact with this clock too. Oh, hold on. I can also move this apparently. Okay. Well, in that case, it would be 3 dragons. 3 o'clock?
Nothing.
That's 2 o'clock.
The face of the
That's finicky. Surely now.
Granddaddy,
Okay,
you
so-
old fox.
Why do that to the photo? Gabriel doesn't want it.
Okay, what do I have in my inventory?
The old photograph showed Gabriel's grandfather with 2 other men that Gabriel has not identified. The letter is addressed to Heinz Ritter,
Oh, Ritter.
whoever that is.
I've heard of Ritter. That was one of the people that were calling.
The letter is written in German, but Gabriel determines what he can about it. It was sent from a place called Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. The letter is addressed to mein Sohn Heinz and signed Wilhelm Ritter. One of the recurring words strewn throughout the letter is the word Schattenjäger.
And we actually know this from the second
only
game
thing that Gabriel
about the
can
Schattenjäger
decipher
and about
the
Ritter.
letter is a sense of urgency in the handwriting and in the
We're just not
heavy
sure how
use of
Gabriel got
pen-tip
there.
bold strokes and underlining.
But, I mean, that's what I get for playing them out of order, so that's... Sure. So, I got some points. Points. Clock. Puzzle.
Gabriel does
Oh, there's a book here I missed.
I think I'll take Daddy's sketchbook with me.
God, it's been got. I bet this has cool skulls in it. Hold on. Yo, look at that!
Images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketchbook, the way they must have haunted his mind. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious.
Sure. Okay, I guess we're done here. That's me. Good night.
That's it. Take a load off, hon.
Can we talk, Gran?
Of course, my boy.
Like the Tomb Raider
How
game's
can I
lost.
help?
Yeah. Tomb Raider's coming up again, though. Don't worry. Tomb Raider's on my list of things I want to play through. I also want to check out the second of the remake series of Tomb Raiders at some point here. Shantae's Seven Sirens been on there for a while. Alice Madness Returns will come back up for sure. Yeah, there's some good stuff.
Do you know anyone named Heinz Ritter?
Heinz
Honestly, my
Ritter.
backlog's pretty large, so
Gabriel, where
there's
did
plenty
you
of
hear
stuff
that
to play.
name?
I found a letter in Granddaddy's clock.
I promised I'd never tell you or your father.
I almost wish I could,
I suppose it doesn't matter now.
I might set up a database and
Tell
just find a way to, like, automate polls or something.
Your
I don't know.
granddad's name was Heinz Ritter before he came to America. He changed it to Harrison Knight legally when he arrived.
Why did Granddad change his name?
I don't know. I tried to ask him about his family, his life before America, but he didn't want to talk about it. He never even told me about his name change. I found out one day when I saw his passport in a drawer. Since he obviously found it painful, I never questioned him about it. But I'm sure it was trouble with the law. Your granddad was the best man I ever knew.
Didn't Granddad ever say anything about his past or his family?
Only that his family was crazy, and that he never wanted to see them again. He believed in some family curse.
First.
Thought that he could spare Philip and Philip's children from what he called...
Oh yeah, the end of the year rankings
nightmares.
coming up probably next week.
Whatever Harrison wanted to spare him, though, it cost him...
I have a list. I'm
He never
ready.
did sleep well, and he would
This
often
is
get a
This has been a
faraway,
year of a
guilty look
bunch
in
of
his
oddball
eyes.
games.
He was
Like every other
rushing
year,
to
but
something he thought he
this year
should be
specifically.
doing. Someplace he thought he ought to be. I don't know how he could think that he should be anywhere but with me and our child. It's a terrible way to live.
Do you know anything
I'm still thinking
else
about doing
Heinz
fishing in the
Ritter?
new year on New Year's
I
Eve
told you all
also.
I know about your granddad's
Not like I have
plans.
anywhere to be anyway. You know? Alright. We learned about our father, or grandfather. German.
Steal Granny's knit.
How low can you get, Gabe?
Well, Gran, I better get going.
All right, dear.
Let's go back to the French Quarter. I think... So we got some new locations. We got the cemetery, we got the police station. We're looking in on the murder, and we haven't actually stopped by a police station yet, so I guess let's check that out. The officer had, like, left us a message.
It's an The desk sergeant looked like a poster boy for hot.
Rude.
30 extra pounds between his armpits and his belt.
But
and
also he's a cop, so
complexion,
fuck him.
Consistency of gray oatmeal. In other words, a typical product
Remember,
of
ACAB
good sergeant
includes
cooking.
Mighty Switch Force. Paddy Wagon. Sorry to say.
Hey, nice precinct.
Think so? That's peachy. That means more to me than you could know. Hey, it's a beignet guy.
His ass.
Great, I'm starved.
That is Jim Cummings, yeah, absolutely. There's an all-star cast of voice actors in the game. Huh?
Stay put, you. Hey, grab me 3, would ya?
Sure.
It's a really long cutscene.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is very wild for 93. And Phantasmagoria, like I was saying, wasn't until 2 years later.
Got a second, officer?
What can
I played
do you for?
Phantasmagoria... Was that last year, I think? Phantasmagoria 1 is very good still. Like your classic gothic horror stuff.
What do you know about the Voodoo murders?
I'm not allowed to give out information on police cases.
Do you know what caprice encore means?
Can't say that I do.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Can't say that I have, but it sounds dirty.
Is that a sex thing?
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's out at a crime scene. Sorry.
Where was the crime
About
scene?
Detective Mosley.
I told you he's not here.
I was supposed to pick up some photos from Detective Mosley at the front desk.
Is that right? And who are you?
My name is Knight. Gabriel.
That's
Knight.
me. All night.
Yeah. I got something for you, all right? Soon as you're done talking, I'll give it to you.
Ass kicking?
Where is the crime scene? Is it related to the Voodoo murders?
Crime scene
This is killing me,
information
by
is
the way.
police confidential. We don't need any
Tell me if I'm
more
wrong.
than are probably
Gabriel Knight
already
looks
there.
a lot like Conan O'Brien. A lot like 90s Conan O'Brien. I'm right, and I should say it. So true.
Tell me about yourself.
Who, me? I'm the Desk Sergeant Frick. Why?
Frick!
Rick?
That's right. You got a problem with that?
Not at all.
Language!
Tell me about yourself.
You see that front door?
Yeah?
Well, I watch people come in. See this book?
Yeah?
Well, I write people's names in it, see? People that bother me.
Oh, you're a piece of
Want me to
shit.
put your name in this book?
I think not.
I mean, he's a cop, so...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me get you a picture of 90s Conan O'Brien for reference. That's just Conan O'Brien. Just saying.
That's me, Gabriel Knight.
That's me, Conan O'Brien.
Here's that envelope for you.
Speaking of, I think
Gabriel
Conan
Knight.
O'Brien is, I mean, a lot of his stuff is still
Thanks.
pretty funny. But Conan's episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast is the Fire Ant episode, which is like 18 minutes of uninterrupted Space Ghost following an ant on the ground. And it's some of the best television that has ever aired. And they replayed all of the Space Ghost Coast to Coast episodes on Cartoon Network like last year. But they edited down the Fire Ant episode to about 8 minutes in length, cutting out like 15 minutes of walking, which is the whole point of the episode. And I'm still mad about it. Bastards, they don't understand fine art.
The envelope has Gabriel's name written on it, misspelled. Gabriel opens the manila envelope and finds 2 photographs. The photograph of Mosley was apparently taken upon his graduation from the police academy. He had hair then. One of the photos from Mosley is an official Voodoo Murders crime scene shot.
Oh, his Hot Ones interview is very funny. I'm not like big on watching Hot Ones, to be honest. It's one of those cultural things that I don't really get that much. But Conan specifically was incredibly fun.
The $20 gift certificate for St. George's looks pitifully new and unused. The tweezers from the bookshop. The magnifying glass is an expensive one
Jade
with
handle
an inlaid jade.
Okay, we got some
The door works pretty well.
photos. Can't take the door. We got some photos that we needed to pick up. Let's head out. We don't know where the crime scene is.
A police officer is either off duty or patrolling the park, or both. The police...
Coroner requests assistance at Maryland.
Oh, okay, so the police radio is gonna tell us where the crime scene is.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Not now, buddy. I'm busy.
I'm being a cop.
Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Good day, officer.
Yeah, you too. Keep moving.
Ambulance to Maryland.
Okay, I have an idea about how to solve this. There was a specific person we found in the park earlier. I have a theory about this cop problem. The mime. Alright, you son of a bitch. Go. Apparently not that way. Let's go this way. We're gonna go do some mime crime.
Well, I never. Leave me alone, you man.
Hold on. Where'd the mime go? God damn it. I think the mime went to harass somebody off screen. Damn it. Try that again. Hey, son of a bitch. Get over here. I need you to annoy a cop for me. Get arrested for mime crime. No, no, stop it!
Hey, stop picking on me. I'll tell my dad.
This fucking mime. Oh my god, okay. You son of a bitch. I'll kick his ass. If you hit a mime with an invisible bat, it's not a crime, by the way. Legally. They can't arrest you for that. You know what? I'm gonna save. On you jerk. I don't understand why there's people just randomly wandering around. Alright.
That's me, Gabriel Knight.
Go get him, mime. That's me, Gabriel Knight.
Hey, cut that out. I told you to stop that. All right, mister. You want some of this?
There we go. Mime crimes. We did it.
Gabriel likes
Alright, let's use the radio.
Gabriel picks up the headset and listens.
Ambulance 911, have you located the crime scene? They've radioed for you 3 times.
Damn! Did you say it was north of the Lake Retreat Country Club?
South, Lakeside Drive north of Piedmont Pier, south of the country club.
Man, I don't know if it's the clouds out here today or what. Good thing this guy's already dead.
Everyone's having trouble. Must have been hallucinogens in the coffee this morning.
It's just so misty out here or something. Hey, I see a squad car. Got it, Molly.
Thank God. Have a good one, 911.
Interesting.
Stupid mime. Hey, you! Get away from that bike.
Sorry.
Got mimed. Get wrecked. Alright, we're done here. We know where the crime scene is. There we go. Let's go there.
The crime scene team is still at the site. Gabriel parks a bit out of the way and walks over to avoid adding to the general confusion.
Hey, mostly. Huh? Knight, you wiener. I told you not to call me that.
Wiener?
Feeling jumpy?
Who, me? Don't be stupid. How'd you
Language.
Oh, I was just driving by.
Mm-hmm. Well, for the book. But don't tell anyone I let you see this, huh? It's another one. As you can see, same MO and no frickin' clues. We're still waiting on an ID for the body.
That's disgusting. Isn't this a rather, public area for this kind of thing?
Yeah, they're frickin' ghosts, these guys.
Frickin'?
Lakeshore Drive isn't exactly the 10 expressway, but it is open to the public.
There's some
No reports.
ding dang cuss words in there.
Now, who the hell is that?
Oh, these comic scenes are cool. Oh, eyes emoji.
Good day, Miss Getty.
Can love bloom
What's
on the
going
battlefield?
on, officer?
Detective Mosley, man. We've got a little problem here, but nothing for you to be concerned about, Miss Getty.
I see. Thank you, detective. And good day, gentlemen.
Whoa, I'm in love.
Lover
Getty,
boy.
That's Molly Getty. She's about as far out of your reach as the moon. Probably on her way to meet some guy with a yacht right now.
Near here?
The lake's a popular place for country clubs.
If she's out here a lot, maybe she saw something or heard something.
Man, nobody ever sees or hears nothing.
I think we should stop letting rich
Besides,
people
you just
own
don't
all
go
the
around
land on
bothering
the
people like her.
edge of water.
We've about wrapped it up, sir. It's another clean sweep.
Yeah, let's get the meat wagon moving then.
You shouldn't be able to hoard all the good
Officer
stuff,
here,
you know?
Nah, just leave the tape up for a few days.
Yes, sir. If you'll excuse us,
I
sir,
see one.
we'll take him away.
Little guy.
Stick around to take notes for the book.
Hey,
if
you're
you want.
different. Good job.
Watch out for the muck in the water.
He's licking his lips.
I'll be back at the station. Stop by if you want to go over the cake.
Thanks.
Alright, we're starting to get into some actual meat. A lot of what has been happening so far has been like backstory about the character. And a puzzle, I guess. And a mime. Mimes are pretty cool. I guess.
There seems to be a pattern to the lines in the sand. But if there is a pattern, it's smeared. There's only one small area that's clearly defined.
Hi. Oh. Alright.
Let me try to
We can make sketches in the sketchbook that we found. Pause. What else do we have?
Gabriel is on the sand and clay shore of Lake Pontchartrain.
That mime was pretty
At the
cool, pissing
site
off
where
cops,
some
yeah.
Our bastard got to see
Alright, hold on.
who the voodoo murderer.
Salem, what are you doing?
The
Huh?
site is now
Getting butt rubs? That's the stuff. Right, dude? Ooh. Can't stretch out your legs like that. What are you doing? Come here. Hey, bud. What are you doing? Oh, there's a microphone in the way. What? You want your cheeks rubbed? Rub. A bit of an ear rub. Salem, come here. Oh, you got such soft fur, I know. Oh, tail in the face, I know. Sweet boy. Mwah. Good boy. Right, you love that. Is that a tail wiggle I see? Right, dude? Tail wiggle, I know. Okay. We can get back to the game. Oh, you know what? Actually, what? That's why. Okay. That for now. Alright. We sketched something in our sketchbook, and we're still kind of looking around. Save.
Out damn the spot. Will these pristine banks ne'er be cleaned again? Out. There seems, but if there is, Gabriel is on the sand and the... Gabriel doesn't need any... Gabriel was just thinking that he could really...
Is that clay? Yuck.
Alright, we got some clay.
Gabriel cannot take... Gabriel can... Gabriel... That... Gabriel... Gabriel can... Gabriel...
Is there anything else in here that I'm missing? I might be pixel hunting right.
At the site where some poor bastard got to see who the voodoo murderer really are. The site is now deserted. Patches of grass have... The grass has a...
Okay, there is something here apparently.
The marks are part of the grass. The marks... Why use...
Maybe I need to walk into it. No? There's clearly something here. Try...
There are marks
here
in
we
the
go.
grass, as though some heavy wire object had been set there.
Like a trap or a cage, maybe?
Gabriel is already magnifying that. Something small and iridescent is barely visible among the indentations. It looks like a scale of some sort.
Take it?
The scale looks a little...
I can. I guess this was for.
Gabriel carefully uses the tweezers to take the small iridescent scale.
I think it's a snake scale, but it beats the hell out of me what kind.
Gabriel is carrying a lump of clay from the banks of Lake Pontchartrain. Gabriel is carrying a scale he found near the crime scene at Lake Pontchartrain.
I just noticed this scroll bar. Very good.
The partial pattern from the crime scenes intrigues Gabriel. What does it mean?
Interesting. Okay. Got another point for that. Let's, get out of here, I guess. So... I think Mosley went back to... Back in the French Quarter. Back to the police station. Maybe we can talk to him now? Ali's no longer at the crime scene.
Got a second, officer?
Snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What does this look like? A zoo? Never mind, don't answer that. No, I don't know nothing about no snakes.
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
Okay, sweet. Progress. Maybe I can go, hold on. I can go inside now. Okay, sweet.
Hey, hey, hey. Knight, come on in.
Mosley.
So, how's it hanging, bud?
Lousy. I hate crime scenes.
I hate crime.
People are sick fucks. You know that, Knight?
What?
I'm starting to get that
You
impression.
hear that? Language? Everybody up to this point has been like, OG frick heck. This bastard's like, just dropping fucks. God damn.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What the?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all faked. It doesn't have anything to do with the real stuff. I know. I asked some experts. It's intimidation tactics, that's all.
Huh.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Lots. Can you be more specific?
No. It's like I'm cleaning my glasses.
Do you know anything about the killers?
At least 20 people attend the killings. We know this from the variety of footprints found at the scene.
Footprints? Aren't those as good as fingerprints?
Can be, but we'd have to have a suspect in custody first, and the suspect would have to match one of the few distinct prints we have. Most of the footprints are smudged, trodden over, unreadable. These guys are so casual in their expertise, it's maddening. Like they know we'll never find them.
Describe the crime scenes.
Well, there's the corpse itself, minus the heart.
Minus the heart?
Around where the body was killed,
Alan Wake
you
2?
find marks and flour and blood.
Kind of funny that
There are
there's some
traces
resemblance
of
to
wax
this game and Alan Wake 2 that I'm currently playing
Ordinary
also.
wax candles, so the lab reports. Also
Almost
blood,
like I did
feathers,
this on
and chicken.
purpose.
Also goat's blood, and plenty of the victim's own, of course.
How many murders have there been so far?
7 murders have so far been linked to the Voodoo Murders case. Now, the first murder occurred about 8 weeks ago. The M.O. was the same in each murder. Lake Pontchartrain was the 7th.
What kind of evidence have you found?
No fingerprints, a few bare footprints. Found a few fibers, but not many. The weirdest one was leopard fur.
Leopard fur? What's the coroner say?
The victim's heart is always ripped out of the chest and missing. We haven't located a single one of them.
Lovely. Any idea what they do with them?
Don't even want to know. Also, the coroner says some of the victims had heart attacks before the incision. Literally scared to death. The knife wounds are consistent with a long, narrow, wavy-edged knife. Probably a ritualistic...
Oh, like a
dagger.
Chris?
Any witnesses?
Nope.
Reese?
There's
I don't
never
know,
been
K-R-I-S,
seen-
however you pronounce it.
No one's even heard of disturbance. It's damn weird. Like they just don't want people to see, and so nobody sees nothing.
Know anything about the victims?
The victims are all out-of-towners. We still don't know why.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
Sure, no problem.
What else do we
What
know?
can you tell me about New Orleans?
You and me grew up together. You tell me. It's a pretty nice place, even seeing the stuff I see. You know. The quarter's getting a bit too wild, though. Getting hard to control. Not quite what it was when you and me used to hang here, but... Hell, I've never known anything else.
Do you know anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
Man's got himself figured out. Don't like snakes.
Do you have any idea what Capri son coeur means?
Hell no. Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough. Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Ha! Is that anything like a Chuck Yeager?
I don't
Oh,
think there's any
Americans.
relation. Tell me about yourself.
For the book?
Sure, why not?
Sure. Whatever.
Okay, what do you want to know?
How'd you like working on the police force?
Are you kidding? You know I love being a cop. In New Orleans, it's the best place in the world to be one.
You know what? Maybe I
Oh,
don't
no.
care, actually. Take a look at this.
What's the status on the Voodoo murders case?
It's going. Can't seem to make any progress, though. Sluggish damn case. It's weird.
Do you know anything about the patterns around the bodies?
Yeah, weird, huh? All 7 victims had those little marks around them. We got all the marks on file, but we haven't figured out what, if anything, they mean.
Multiple marks, huh?
Can I see the other 6 patterns?
Sure. People like that kind of stuff, don't they? Might make the book seem more mysterious. Go talk to Officer Franks. Tell her I said you could see the file.
Yes.
I got those photographs you left for me.
Really? Great. What'd you think?
Astonishingly lifelike.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Got any more ideas for photos for the book?
I don't know.
Nope.
I'll come back to that later. Should I insult him? I feel like I need to get more out of this. Get out of here. We have some files to look at. This is Frick's, so is this Frank's?
She's not bad.
Shut up. Okay.
Can I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these reports.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Yeah, Gabriel Knight in this game especially, kind of a sexist horn dog, I guess. Which made him a sex symbol in the 90s for Sierra. But it comes off now as, I don't know, a Me Too problem. Not as bad in the second game. I feel like he kind of grew as a character, or they realized like, oh, this is kind of dumb and bad.
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
Yeah, he's a creep
There it is.
protagonist, yeah, in this
You can
game,
look at it all you
unfortunately.
want, but don't
I-
leave this area
I
with it, okay?
believe,
And no photocopies.
if I'm not mistaken,
afraid.
the point of the game is that he gets over
understand
that
completely.
by the end of it. Which is why he's not a creep in the second game. But it's not great. Okay, so these are the other...
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 voodoo murders.
Alright, I'm gonna make a copy of this.
I told you, you can't photocopy official police files.
I'm not gonna make
Sorry,
a copy of this.
I forgot.
Are you right?
There's no reason.
I'm done.
That sped up that time.
Thanks.
Okay, I think I activated like a...
Well, where it is.
Oh, you know what? There might be a once you've done something, it's second time. I'm walking a lot faster now. I have an idea about how to handle this.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
How's it going,
You're
sir?
the writer. Ask away.
We asked about photographs.
So you...
A cop author photo might be nice.
You and me? Together?
Why not? Of course, you'll have to try to tone down your masculinity.
Well, okay. I'll call the police photographer.
We need someone to leave the other room. Since selfies
Franks,
didn't exist
come here
in the
a minute, would you?
90s.
Bring your camera.
Somebody has to leave, right? To take a photo. Yeah, okay.
What did you need, Detective Mosley?
We need a picture, please. And make it a good one, huh, sweetheart?
Call your coworkers, sweetheart.
Sure, sweetheart.
He hates it.
Say, chintzy.
Was there anything else, Knight?
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
God, Knight, make it fast.
Okay, I think I can piss off for a second and steal the file or make a copy of it, maybe? That guy's not watching, right?
There's no... Gabriel wouldn't... Gabriel...
Oh, never mind, it's on the table. Right.
Let me see that file.
Okay.
Just want to check this machine here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make photos of my ass. Copy them out. I mean, come on. What do you think I am? Okay. Alright, now we have a copy. Can I, combine
Those
these?
two objects...
No. It seems like there is a combine, though.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Ew.
Yeah, sure.
Was every dude in the 90s a creep? Yeah, never mind, I already know the answer to that.
The suit that...
He was talking about her breasts.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Yeah.
Later, Knight.
That doesn't seem to work.
Alright, let's get out of here. The museum had a snake, but she told us to come back tomorrow. The guy at the drugstore had nothing to say, but maybe he has something now. Other than that French phrase that he gave us. Kitty boy? Upstate. Some other things I wanted to look at here.
The mask appears to be made from a real crocodile head. The sign says, Special Saint-Jean-Yves, Lagnappe, free bottle of lover come back to me oil, or master gambling oil, with every purchase over $50.
Lanyard. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Like really heavy alcohol?
It's nearly as old as the one at Saint George's.
Anything else in here I can look at?
The dust on those...
Lodestone powder. 5-finger grass. Something tells me I'm not in Kansas anymore.
The sign says potion ingredients. These jars must be for do-it-yourselfers. Herbal oils for love, luck, power, and success. The poster reads, power will be yours when you use Papa Legba's power-drawing incense and Master Power oil. Buy some today.
I do like power.
A variety of cloth dolls are arranged above the shelves, each impaled with a single silver pin. Voodoo and hoodoo, the craft as revealed by traditional practitioners by Jim Haskins. Available at Dixieland Drugstore and other...
Some of this game definitely feels King's Questy. But with a slightly gothic noir tone instead. Let's go... I'm gonna try talking to him one more time, just in case.
Can I ask... What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Tell me about...
Why should I discuss...
Okay, nothing else there.
That wouldn't...
Okay, not much. I feel like we got some good information. Back to the bookshop, I guess. There's some things we need to wait until tomorrow to do.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Maybe Grace can answer some questions, though.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What do you know?
Do you know
What do you know
anything
about snakes?
Doing a family tree, Gabriel?
Got him.
Very funny. I mean real snakes. You know, scaly, cold-blooded. I would have thought you'd find them empathetic.
Wow.
I know very little about reptiles of any kind and prefer to keep it that way. I think there's a book on snakes around here somewhere, though.
Okay, thanks.
Find that book.
Are you sure you don't know what Capri...
I told you.
What can you tell me?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. It must be a local custom. New Orleans love any excuse to celebrate.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No. Is that a voodoo word?
Oh no,
I don't
German.
think so. It's German.
No, but it has a nice ring, doesn't it? Schottenjäger.
Could you...
Sure.
Here we go.
Could you see what you can find out about a woman named Malia Getty?
The name Getty sounds familiar. What's your interest in her?
Oh, just, you know, stuff about the voodoo murders. If you could get an address...
They're murders. Right. I'll see what I can find out. Anything else?
So, is he actually looking into the murder? Or is he just trying to get her address to be a creep? That's the real question.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well...
It could go either way, really.
So it is. Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gabriel. And try not to dream, okay?
Yeah, everyone's definitely sick of Gabriel's shit. I need to point out and emphasize again, by the way, this depiction of Gabriel Knight was seen as extremely hot by Sierra game players in the 90s. This is like a romance novel style of character. I wish I could make those cutscenes full screen. I might be able to change that in the settings. They're very small. FMVs. My god. Snake. Oh my god. Day 2.
Good morning. Don't you look swell today? Actually, swollen. So have some. There's a fresh pot on the table. Seriously, you look like hell. Your hair is sticking straight up like a... Oh, it always does that. Never mind. Did you dream about the fire and the hang guy and that...
I do kind of like the shit they give each other, though.
Leopard, not lion. Did you get anything on Malia Getty?
Well, I did get her address, but you're a little out of your league here, big fella. The Gettys own 3 local hospitals, just to name a few of their assets. They run in very high circles.
Did you get an address?
I got the address. I suppose this has nothing to do with the fact that Malia Getty is incredibly gorgeous. I should have known you wouldn't go for a rich, ugly socialite.
And that address is...
Hey! Far be it from me to postpone your total humiliation. It's 557 West England. That's the Garden District, Estate City.
That's all I wanted to know. And yes, my dear, Malia Getty is the most dangerous-looking diversion I've ever seen. Ouch!
God damn it, Tim Curry.
Men.
God damn it. Alright.
Today's newspaper is on the counter. Gabriel.
That one? Read the newspaper.
Times Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes. Of course, these days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instinct.
I feel a dark star rising, all right.
Huh? What was he talking about? Hey, man. What the? Anyway. And what is Dongus? What? Okay. Dialogue.
Got it.
Any messages?
Do you have message?
Nope.
Could
Sure. Okay.
Okay, guess we're done here. Let's go outside.
Have fun.
So we got an address for a lady we want to talk to. Go. Alright, I need to check if these FMVs can be made. Setting for them? It would probably be in 93. Oh, it had patents. Damn. The hint system. My guess is that I would need to change that in DOSBox. The funny line and the funny take don't do it, by the way.
Gabriel can't get inside.
Okay, I can't go that way.
That does.
Alright, so this is a dead end right now until we get invited. Can't just harass somebody at their house. So in that case, we'll talk to some people. See if anything changed. That looks new. One second. A lot of information about making the window bigger, but not videos, like to the window size. I'll have to look that up later, I guess. For next time. What is all?
The electrician has left his tools behind. He must plan on returning. There's a temperature gauge on the wall near Mosley's office. The security cage has been removed by the electrician.
Oh, I sense a crime. On. And annoying your dad by messing with the temperature gauge.
Hey, mostly. Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
Wanker?
Mosley. Logs of nice polyester. Mosley was. The badge in his front coat pocket is set off particularly well by the gold
badge, huh?
Can I ask you about some stuff? What's the status on the Voodoo murders case?
you're as filled in as me.
Have you ever called the hair club for men?
I'd rather have no hair than your hair, Knight.
Got him. Nothing new there, so I'm gonna go mess with that temperature. You know, for fun and profit.
I'll let you get back to it.
Do a little prank. You know what I'm saying? So 90.
Whew, it's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Yep, sure is a prank.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Yeah, no, I get it. Ooh! Pranks all around. Alright?
Can I ask you about some stuff?
Alright, let's get him out of here.
How about getting me some coffee?
Coffee? You want coffee?
Should that surprise you?
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So, I'm desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now. Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
Oh, I won't, sir. No crimes here. Okay, let's do like an actual real crime. Hold on. This is like about as crime gets.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Okay, we're gonna impersonate an officer.
What are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Oh, crime.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
Okay. Let's get out of here. So we have a police badge that we borrowed permanently as a treat. The Voodoo Museum told us to go back tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Take a look.
Welcome,
Owner should be here.
my friend.
Hello?
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on
Me,
it.
Gabriel Knight.
Handsome, isn't he?
Hey. Can somebody tell me what... You've already got me, you lucky devil.
Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so... A very large, very...
Alright, let's talk to this guy, Dr. John.
This is quite a place you have here.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. I have dedicated myself to the preservation of this unique culture. It is gratifying to see others reap the fruits I have sown.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
Excuse me. Woo. Alright.
What can you tell me about...
Learn about voodoo.
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Yes?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
Do you know anything about snakes?
You have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight.
I sure did.
They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
This is Worf. Hold on, this is Worf.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I am afraid I do not know the origins of St. John's Eve. I only know that it was a night of ritual long before voodoo came to New Orleans.
I know that voice.
Is the snake yours? Do you use it in your practice of voodoo?
I admire the spirit of the snake, Mr. Knight, but snakes like the museums can be quite dangerous to handle.
I forgot I need to keep asking the same question. It's not answered in one go usually.
I'd really like to know.
There is really...
What makes you think the voodoo...
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
What can...
Historical
Do you have any idea what Capri Saint-Gall means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr.
Interesting.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I have not.
Tell me.
Me?
Yeah.
What is it you...
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
Video games?
What are your own religious beliefs?
That's gaming.
My beliefs are
What the?
personal and too complex to discuss with a layman.
Just tell me.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know. I was drawn here.
Alright. Historical voodoo.
Tell me about...
Very well. I will start...
Let's learn about
at the
voodoo.
beginning, Mr. Knight, and we'll go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and
Yeah, I'm a little
Spanish
worried this isn't going to handle
colonized
this topic well, but we'll see.
Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
So,
after the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather, The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou Saint John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers.
Shore of the lake, huh?
The great zombie.
Isn't that where the crime scene was?
Tell me more about it.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me more. Tell me about.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or grigri. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic.
Because they're weird.
I personally am more
And
interested in the history.
They want to appropriate culture.
Movements
Oh, I get it.
Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Tell me more.
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling grigri, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner.
Margentia Moonbeam.
Margentia Moonbeam.
Or Margentia.
Sure. I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great. Thanks. Tell me.
You have tapped my...
Is there...
Not if you're interested. Voodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Interesting.
Tell me more.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooians in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans.
So she
She
potentially
was not
sold
above using
information?
her information to appear
Yeah.
psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
Exactly.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However, she achieved it.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously. Very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money. That is for certain.
A capitalist.
But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
Was that?
Tell me more.
It was Marie Laveau who defined the voodoo that is truly and uniquely the voodoo of New Orleans. She invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
Tell me.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the widow Paris got hold. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Anything else?
Tell me more about Marie.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1.
That's where our family tomb
It is
is.
a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really?
No. But the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Interesting.
Tell me.
You have... is not if you're...
Okay. We got some good, useful information there, actually. Get out of
The
here.
doorway is already...
Goodbye, Doctor.
Lots of backstory. Let's go back to the square. Maybe that mime's back. We can piss off a cop again. Searching for mimes. Where the mime at? Yo! Where'd that kid go? God, that kid is killing it. Look at that. That's me, Gabriel Knight. Hold on. Yeah.
A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a lucky dog vendor. The vendor ignores him. The lucky dog vendor has his nose buried in a paperback novel. Gabriel noticed that it is not. Big surprise. One of his.
Oh, talk to that tap dancing boy. Talk to that hot dog vendor.
You might have...
Yeah.
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh. Could I get a look?
Not now, I'm busy.
An unambitious person? In the 90s? Amazing.
Unambitious person in the 90s? Amazing. Seems being kind of weird. I'm gonna save and like load. See if that fixes the audio.
Hello, you selling lucky dogs or not?
Are you joking? For some reason the audio's been delayed now. Our mime friend is gone. Now we have a cool tap dancing boy and a hot dog man. Not the same, you know. Juggler, an artist.
An artist is taking advantage of the fine weather.
I bet the stupid tap dancing boy is delaying all the audio because it has to swap between audio files. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Could I ask you some questions?
I'd rather not. I really get focused when I'm drawing.
Okay, fine. Nice drawing.
Thank you.
It's real.
Well, I'm an architectural student, actually. It's good practice.
What do you know about?
Say, do you think there's anything you can
You're
do
an
with the
artist.
patterns?
No art.
I'm kind of busy, and I don't normally...
Oh.
Okay, we'll come back in a second, I guess. Let's go... I want to go talk to that tap dancing boy.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money then.
Kid, I'm broke as hell.
Don't block the view, mister.
I think this kid is trying to, like, tap dance for a hot dog? What it said when I joined in?
The gift certificate is written up generically and the $20 gift certificate for
I have this gift certificate.
Can I get a dog?
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books, finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
Oh, because he was reading a book. Oh, that makes sense.
You could take this gift certificate with you, if you'll give me a lucky dog.
A lucky dog for a $20 gift certificate? Well, sure. Here you go.
Would have been like a 50-cent dog. Maybe. Spent $20 on that dog. In value, at least. Alright, is this... I need some dog review.
although the mustard is teasingly poured into a pattern-like shape. Gabriel's eyes can make no...
Pretty okay dog. I don't like mustard on my dogs, though. I basically just want, like, either a Coney Island dog, you know, put that chili, some onions, or I want barbecue. I'm not big on ketchup and mustard, or even relish. I don't know. I'm a weirdo when it comes to dogs. Anyway, here you go, kid.
You wouldn't like a lucky dog by any chance.
It's tap dancing for dogs. There you go, kid. Oh, gross. Ah, jeez.
Thanks, mister. You got any special requests, let me know.
Dog.
You mentioned... How about when the Saints go marching in?
Sure. Hey guys, Saints!
You got it, kid.
What? Oh, the band's playing. That's gaming. Oh my god, there's so much gaming. What a banger.
That was great.
What a banger.
No problem, mister.
Alright.
Hey, come back here. Hey!
The artist is...
And?
Oh, unbelievable.
Sure.
There's her drawing caught up again.
Is that it?
Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
What if I use tweezer? Huh?
Using that...
I didn't think that would work anyway.
Gabriel is... The badge says New Orleans.
You meant... Can you do the...
Say it.
Oh, never. Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach.
Tap dancing hot dog boy, I need your help. That's me, Gabriel Knight.
Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing.
This is great.
Here you go. Yep. See ya.
Now that's gaming. Switching between screens is very awkward. You have to really mash. Okay, what did we get? This thing.
It's a tech. There's...
Get this drawing back, I guess. I think we need the artist to look at our art. But he said he wouldn't do it because he was busy. And like, do a favor for him, then he'll do it.
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Okay, how about... Know anything about art?
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you need?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
Pattern is probably circular, and there's some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do.
No. What about this?
I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Okay. Come back tomorrow. So. Get out of here. Alright, we got the Moonbeam residence added. One thing we were gonna do, except we couldn't go here until we were invited. Detective Mosley, I think, was invited. Now that we have Mosley's badge. We're gonna impersonate him. As is tradition.
The knocker is...
May I help you? I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you. I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
Crime. Crime.
Gabriel doesn't want to display his...
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Ms. Getty.
I really do love the Tim Curry voices.
Ms. Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be down shortly. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Okay.
This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Got him.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
What do you know about
the murders?
Tell me about...
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now.
Come on, man.
Tell me more.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get...
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar.
Yes. I can...
Thanks.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
Do you know... What can you tell me?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about...
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gar means?
No, I don't.
That's confidential.
Confidential.
Do you know anything?
I have heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Have you?
No, I'm afraid...
Okay, let's ask the rest of this.
Tell me about...
I suppose I don't really have...
What kind of...
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts.
Sorry about that.
Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Yeah, oh,
Tell
so
me
much
about
money,
your
I'm so busy all the
Gettys.
time.
We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Gabriel,
Yes,
stop.
That is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me. As you wish.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you
I wish...
Excuse me, but your eyes
Well,
are really...
there was an option to flirt, so I gotta do it.
I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold.
Uh-huh.
It's so deep, rich. Man, if I could bottle that...
Keep it in your pants.
Fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at
Oh
your
my,
job.
oh.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
What?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police.
I'm just impersonating
My
a
name
cop.
is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer
prank.
working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear, I've never done anything.
I've never
like this before.
stolen a badge
Mr.
from a
Knight,
cop
you've
to
lied
impersonate an
about your identity
officer
and
so I
wasted
could
my time with meaningless questions.
talk to you face to
If it weren't
face. Whew.
vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. Lucky
Vaguely?
I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert?
I can't.
Show Mr. Knight
is-
out, please.
Tim Curry throwing Tim Curry out.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Language. Next on the agenda. Impersonating an officer. I guess we're done here. There's the cemetery. There's the new Moonbeam resident. Guess the cemetery? This could be a puzzle solution.
The marks are reddish in color and reminds Gabriel of Cross. They look like they've been here a few days at least.
Can I make a sketch of it? Yeah, there we go.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Oh, that guy left. I might need to talk to him.
Gabriel doesn't.
Alright, what did I get?
It's a piece of brick.
I'm gonna leave. Come back and see if I can talk to that guy. Come on. Never mind, he's over here. Right cemetery.
Hello there, got a sec?
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What do you know?
Ain't it just awful, them finding those bodies with voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody's trying to cover their tracks is all.
What can you tell me of...
Seems like everybody want to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery too. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them ain't poisonous, of course.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Why, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get some weird goings-on in that cemetery on that night. More often, a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and more.
That's pretty
Interesting.
disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do with them, but it can't be pretty.
Do you have any idea what Cabrice Saint-Coeur?
No.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodoo eater and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings there. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once today. But Marie Laveau's tomb is the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
Dr. John was here.
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Her tomb's on all our tombs. Even the Baptists come around here to go. 'Cause you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all, but down in an unmarked tomb in number 3. It's all the same to me, I say. Save me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
Have you ever...
I don't know what
You said there were other marked...
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn greens, animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this at one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it. No, I ain't one for naming names. I don't like to encourage. Don't know how that's...
Tell me something.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins would float right out of their graves.
Oh, you know, I never thought about that.
Them dead would go floating right down into the water. Course, if it
That makes
Mardi
sense.
Gras, nobody'd even notice.
Tell me something.
It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War and back further too. Take a look around, you'll see.
Alright, I think we're done here.
The Wright family tomb. Several of Gabriel and Grant's family members are laid to rest here. There's not...
Can I go into my own tomb? No. Or my own family's tomb, I guess. Oh. Hold on, I gotta wait for this guy to walk to the other screen.
Too heavy.
Alright, so this is the Getty tomb. Or Ged? Eid?
The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Gede.
Getty.
An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. To and
Guessing I can't just like go inside this. There's a button.
The plate is locked in position.
I need a key. Okay. Good to know for later. Looking for a key.
To the east.
Out of here then. So we know where the tombs are. We know we need a key. That is useful info. And we learned a little bit more history. Plus we got this marking and brick. Alright, Moonbeam, I guess, then.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait? Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Got a funny snake.
Actually, Dr. John.
I A large, sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner.
Oh, there is a shed skin. Hey, can I, like, steal your snake shed skin?
Magenta snakes look so...
Maybe later.
Magenta Moonbeam is wrapped in gauze and silks. She looks vaguely mysterious and mysteriously vague.
You know what? Let's see.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind.
Yes, I am a voodoo yen, a voodoo priestess.
Sure.
Could I ask you...
Oh no. Is this just a hippie white woman that's appropriating other cultures?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
Huh.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
Huh.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved
Gabriel Knight
Grimwald?
walking up to literally
She's a
everybody in New Orleans. Hey,
Quite dead.
you know anything about
in the
snakes?
wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Huh.
Tell me more.
Oh, I wouldn't want to...
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve?
Yeah, that's an important
It is the greatest
conversation.
night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave
Got a point
on
for
St.
that.
John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice, sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John, sometimes at the Lake Pontchartrain.
What's the significance?
Special ceremonies are performed, and the lower come to ride the faithful.
Do you know anything about...
Oh, yes, she was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you know...
She ruled...
Do you have... Tell me about...
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too... close.
Too close.
Close?
To what?
Just bad karma. What about her?
Where'd you get Grimwald?
She
Talk about
belonged
that
to a
cool
traveling
snake.
reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once.
Ugh.
The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me.
I'm very
Monsieur,
white.
I am sure they know better than we.
How'd you learn to handle Grimwald?
I told you a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Oh, fascinating. Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's...
Yeah, we need to figure out if this snake is the one that was in the
couldn't do
murderer,
that.
since we
You
found
might
that scale
read me
earlier.
your own, no?
Which appeared to be probably a snake that was in a cage
Hair
in the
clippings,
grass.
nail parings, and snake scale.
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance?
That would be...
I won't make you wait. No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Amazing. Look at her go. Oh, that's terrifying stuff. That snake's a good snake, though. Look at it, it's so cute. Look at it go. Oh.
There.
That's certain.
Okay.
Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magentia, Moonbeam's snake. The snake scales are hued brown.
Not the snake that we found earlier. Not this one.
The iridescent...
Green and purple.
The
Good to know. Anything
I'll
else
ask you
to
a
talk
few
about?
more questions.
Certainly.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match. And a spirit will
Lodestone?
come
Like a brick?
and give you advice in gambling.
Give me...
Here's an old hoodoo Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue. And if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
So I need to get a dime, probably?
Give me...
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person.
Throw a rotten egg at somebody's door and they'll leave.
Throw it against his door.
Great.
Give me an...
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or a shoe that belongs to that person. Put
There was somebody...
graveyard dirt in
The gravekeeper was talking
Bury it
about
under their
taking
front
graveyard
steps.
dirt.
Does that work? Give me an...
To ensure the safety of your child,
Hmm.
cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can...
These are...
They're very old. The Gree-Gree that I prepared.
Interesting. Alright, I think we're done here.
Please remain seated.
Thanks for the warning.
Please remain seated within the protective...
Thanks for the...
Wait, can I not leave? Oh no, the door is over here. Oh.
Well, I...
May the protection of the snake god go with you.
Sure. Alright, so she mentioned a mask. There was a mask at the drugstore. That alligator in a trench coat. Slash robe. Hey dog! What the?
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Cousin. Comment ça va? How you be feeling?
Hey, kitty cat.
Well,
Aw.
I'll tell you, Mr. Walker.
Hey, say your
I'm
favorite toy in the whole
someone's
world.
buried a sleep-not bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Sleep not
don't
bag.
beat all. Well, you're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep Gree-Gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard
Wait, what are you
dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want them.
The Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection. I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though it don't hurt to be proactive none neither. Now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non,
Oh,
madame.
French.
It's nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
Or at least Creole. That might be useful information later. Okay. Need to get around Cat's tape. Second. Mask.
The mask appears.
Can I? Do you know anything about animal masks?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists?
Right.
I used to sell a few as souvenirs. The only one left is Willie Jr. over there. The old crocodile. Well, he's sort of a mascot now,
Hmm.
That customer of yours, the little old lady?
Customer?
The woman I saw in here. Madame Cazeneuve, you call her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
Good call, to be honest.
Have you ever heard?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of those folk tales. Oh, the
Big
tourists
yawns,
eat up,
Talon. Job.
About Willie Jr. Would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
$100 is the price you give someone to tell them to fuck off.
Kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. very close now.
Hey man,
Walk with him for less.
especially in '93. I need to get $100.
Would you
Don't insult me, miss.
I need to get $100 so I can get that cool mask. Dang it. I'll be back. Alright, let's go back to the bookshop. I think we're out of leads now.
Phew, it's humid out there. Made it back though.
Oh, joy.
Got a few new things to ask.
Do you know anything?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you just heard everything.
Yes,
Do
it
you
is.
have message?
Nope.
Could you?
Sure. What?
Okay, and I can do research on that old lady. Stop.
I need you to look up a Madame Cazeneuve.
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Getty, was?
Grace, Cazeneuve's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
I can't.
Okay. It's time to close shop.
So it is. Have a nice night.
Okay. And day 2.
You too. See you tomorrow.
It's that same dream, right? Turning into a funny cat lady? Oh, there was something about jaguar fur earlier at the crime scene. Huh. Interesting.
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Kazanu. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Interesting.
Great, thanks.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malgageti, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
Are the stars out tonight?
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested? She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal.
Samurai.
When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right. You should be jealous of me.
Thank you, Tim Curry, for that.
As should every woman on this planet.
Oh, never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands.
Oh, this guy's
Hey,
back.
kids.
Bruno.
Gabe, pet. I just popped in to see if you're desperate enough to sell me that painting.
I have $20 in the register. I'm fine. And
How much would you give me for it, Bruno?
Gabriel, don't you dare sell your father's painting.
Need a cool mask.
Stay out of this, Grace.
Ooh, you're serious? You'll let me have it?
Yeah, I'll let you have it, all right. How much for the painting?
Well, I could give you 100. That's all I can let go at the moment, you know. My fares are so tied up.
Gabriel, $100 for your father's painting?
Grace, let me deal with this.
Fine.
Fine, it's yours.
I need $100 for a
Gabriel.
cool mask.
Here's the 100.
Enjoy your
You better take good care.
Hog Slammer painting.
Another your hip art.
Snakes going through a human skull.
Really? Well, I fully intend to make the most of its display, though not for your sake, I'm sure. At least in my shop, there'll be a chance of someone actually seeing it. I can't believe I actually got it. Just wait until I show Sid.
I don't believe you!
It's just a painting, Grace. There are things I have to do.
Alright. Let's, hold there for right now.